The sterile gleam of the Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, felt particularly unwelcoming to Dr. Anya Sharma that Tuesday afternoon. Despite the warmth of the California sun outside, a chill prickled her skin, a familiar premonition she'd learned to trust. Anya wasn't just a traveler. She was the newly appointed CEO of Nexus Dynamics, a tech behemoth that had just secured a multi-billion-dollar government contract. She'd flown in from New York on a red-eye, exhausted but exhilarated, ready for a crucial board meeting. As she approached the baggage claim carousel for her flight, 7B, a small, elegant carry-on bag sat conspicuously on the floor beside it, seemingly unattended. It was a distinctive piece, a limited-edition smart suitcase from a high-end designer, equipped with biometric locks and a GPS tracker. It was also unmistakably hers. She'd checked it at the gate due to overhead bin space limitations, a common occurrence. Anya reached for it, her fingers brushing the cool, sleek surface when a sharp, authoritative voice cut through the drone of the airport. "Excuse me, ma'am. Is that your bag?" She turned to face a male airport security officer, Officer Miller, a burly man with a stern expression and a name tag that read Airport Security. Beside him stood a female colleague, Officer Davis, already eyeing Anya's designer suit with what Anya perceived as a mix of suspicion and disdain. "Yes, officer, it is," Anya replied, her voice calm despite the immediate tension. "I just got off Flight 7B from JFK." Officer Miller folded his arms, his gaze sweeping over her without warmth. "Really? Because we've been watching this bag for a while. It's been sitting here unclaimed. Looks mighty expensive to be just left around." Anya felt a familiar tightening in her chest. This wasn't just about an unclaimed bag. "I assure you, it's mine. I can unlock it for you right now, show you my identification and my boarding pass." She reached for her handbag. "Hold on there," Officer Davis interjected, stepping closer. "You seem mighty eager to get your hands on it. People leave bags all the time. We have procedures for this, you know. Suspicious activity." Anya paused, her hands still. The subtle shift in their tone, the immediate assumption of guilt. It was a dance she knew all too well. "Suspicious activity? I just landed, officer. My flight arrived literally minutes ago. I was in the restroom, and now I'm here to collect my bag. And yet, you're the first one to approach it," Officer Miller said, his tone dripping with skepticism. "Almost like you were waiting for us to leave. Huh? What's in the bag, ma'am?" "My personal belongings, mostly documents," Anya stated, her patience wearing thin. "And I don't appreciate the insinuation. Are you accusing me of something?" Officer Davis scoffed. "We're just doing our job, ma'am. There's been a lot of high-value luggage reported stolen recently. And frankly, this bag looks like it could belong to one of those international thieves." She gestured vaguely towards Anya's dark skin and elegant features. The insinuation hung in the air, thick and undeniable. "International thieves?" Anya's voice dropped, ice cold. "Are you implying I'm a thief because of how I look?" Officer Miller's face hardened. "We're implying nothing, ma'am. We're just following protocol. You match a certain profile." Anya's mind raced. She could argue, she could fight, she could pull out her CEO credentials right now. But a deeper, more profound anger was simmering. This wasn't just about her. It was about every person who had ever been profiled, subjected to suspicion based on nothing but prejudice. "What profile is that, officer?" Anya asked, her eyes narrowing. "A successful black woman traveling with a nice suitcase." Officer Davis laughed a short, brittle laugh. "Now you're putting words in our mouths. We're just being vigilant. You want her bag? We'll need to take it to security for a full search. And you'll need to come with us for questioning." "Questioning?" Anya repeated, her voice deceptively soft. "For what? Try to retrieve my own luggage?" "For suspicious behavior, for loitering around a potentially stolen item," Officer Miller stated, taking a step closer, his hand subtly moving towards his sidearm. The implicit threat was clear. Anya looked at the two officers, then at her bag. She knew her rights. She knew the power she held. But she also knew that in this moment, for them, she was just another profile. A profound realization hit her. These were the gatekeepers, the low-level enforcers who, knowingly or unknowingly, perpetuated systemic biases. All right, Anya said, her voice regaining its earlier calm, a dangerous calm that bordered on chilling. Let's go to security. I'll comply fully. As they escorted her through the bustling terminal, Anya pulled out her phone. She didn't call her legal team or her assistant. Instead, she opened a specific app, her fingers flying across the screen. She located the airport's security operations center number. Then, with a few more taps, the direct line to Mr. Richard Thorne, the airport's general manager, a man she had been introduced to just last week during an exclusive networking event for top industry leaders. She'd casually mentioned Nexus Dynamics' new ventures, and he'd been very impressed. Upon reaching the cramped, fluorescent-lit security office, Anya was asked to sit in a small, uncomfortable chair. Officers Miller and Davis stood over her, their expressions triumphant. "So, what's your full name, ma'am?" Officer Miller began, pulling out a notepad. Before Anya could answer, her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen. It was Mr. Thorne. She answered, putting it on speaker. "Dr. Sharma? Richard Thorne here. Just got your urgent message. You're at security? What in the world is going on?" His voice, usually composed, was laced with concern. Officers Miller and Davis exchanged confused glances. "Mr. Thorne," Anya said, her voice clear and strong, deliberately audible to the officers. "Yes, I am. Your officers, Miller and Davis, have accused me of attempting to steal my own luggage. They claimed I was loitering and matched a profile for high-value luggage thieves and implied this based on my appearance." She didn't raise her voice, but every word was a hammer blow. There was a stunned silence on the other end, then a sharp intake of breath from Mr. Thorne. "They did what?" "Dr. Sharma, I am so incredibly sorry. This is unacceptable. Where are you exactly?" "I'm coming down there right now." This instant, Officer Miller's jaw dropped. Officer Davis's face paled. The triumphant expressions vanished, replaced by dawning horror. "I'm in the security office near Baggage Claim 7, Mr. Thorne," Anya continued, her gaze fixed on the now squirming officers. "And while you're on your way, perhaps you can clarify something for your staff. As the CEO of Nexus Dynamics, a company that just signed the largest federal security contract in your airport's history, I would think my identity would be quickly verifiable. My presence here is for a meeting with your board to discuss that very contract." The officer's eyes widened in disbelief, then shame. The weight of her words, of her true identity, crashed down on them. Anya heard Mr. Thorne barking orders on the other end of the line, his voice rising in fury. "You two, Officers Miller and Davis, what is your employee ID number? You are both hereby placed on immediate suspension pending a full investigation. And I mean immediate. I'm coming to escort Dr. Sharma personally." He hung up. The security office was utterly silent. Officer Miller and Davis stood frozen, their bravado shattered. Anya calmly picked up her bag, unlocked it with her fingerprint, and opened it briefly to reveal perfectly folded clothes and a stack of confidential documents, just as she'd said. She didn't gloat. She didn't yell. She simply looked at them, a quiet power radiating from her. Minutes later, Mr. Thorne burst into the office, his face beet red, panting slightly. "Dr. Sharma, I cannot apologize enough for this egregious misconduct. This is an absolute disgrace. I've already initiated disciplinary action. These officers will be terminated." He turned to Miller and Davis, his eyes blazing. "You two are fired. Effective immediately. Get out of my airport. You are a stain on this institution." Anya watched them, heads bowed in humiliation, being escorted out. She felt no joy, only a grim satisfaction. It wasn't about vengeance. It was about ensuring that the next black CEO or the next innocent person wouldn't have to endure what she just had. "Thank you, Mr. Thorne," Anya said, her voice calm, professional once more. "I appreciate your swift action. Now about that board meeting." She extended her hand, a powerful woman reclaiming her space and her narrative. The airport, once a place of subtle hostility, was now fully aware of the force they had almost foolishly dismissed. And as Anya walked out, her head held high, she knew this wasn't just a personal victory. It was a loud, clear message against prejudice, delivered with the quiet devastating power of truth.